What is up everybody, it's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and in this video I will be talking about a pretty crazy Black Clover theory that came to me while reading the most recent chapters of the manga. Please note, this video is not a spoiler. It is a theory video about the true origins of Yuno and Asta and the real reason why the two of them are so closely connected and why they both have such unique talents and abilities. As of the making of this video, this theory has not been confirmed in the manga, but with that said, this video will contain manga spoilers because that is the only way to give you all of the evidence for why I think that this theory might be true. If you enjoy Black Clover videos and you want to see more, you can leave a like to let me know. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Since the very beginning of Black Clover, we have wondered why Asta and Yuno were dropped off at the same orphanage as babies at the same exact time. The two of them certainly don't look alike, so it doesn't seem like they are twin brothers or anything like that. Although it's not impossible for twin siblings to look completely different, it is more rare. Usually twins, even fraternal twins, will have at least some clear similarities in appearance. With that said, the guys over at Anime Balls Deep have an interesting theory about Yuno and Asta potentially being twin brothers and the children of Licht and Tetia. According to this theory, Tetia was actually pregnant with twins, but because she was killed during the elf massacre, her twins were reincarnated as baby Yuno and baby Asta. I will link that video in the description if you want to check it out after this video. It is definitely interesting and they raise some really cool points to support the theory. With the official translation of chapter 197 of the manga, we saw that Raya says the following about Yuno. Is it waking up? Licht's child inside him. I think that this can definitely be interpreted as lending more credence to the theory that Yuno and Asta might be Licht and Tetia's children. However, just for fun, in this video I will propose an alternate theory. My argument is that when Raya says Licht's child in chapter 197, what he means is that Licht's child is the elf who possessed Yuno's human body earlier in the story. Back when he was first possessed, the elf inside Yuno did not wake up, so Yuno retained control of his body and gained the ability to use elf magic. But now, it appears that the elf inside of Yuno, Licht's unborn child, is finally waking up, at least according to Raya. But moving on, ever since they were dropped off at the orphanage, Asta and Yuno developed a deep bond and a great friendship, and both of them have the same goal to become the Wizard King. But as the story goes on, both Asta and Yuno have also demonstrated some very unique talents and abilities. Abilities that have never really been explained until now. In the most recent chapters of the manga, we meet a devil who revealed some incredible new things to us about what really happened during the elf massacre 500 years ago. All this time, we thought that during the wedding between the leader of the elves, Licht, and Tetia, the human sister of the first Wizard King, the elves were betrayed by humans and they were all ambushed and slaughtered. Grief-stricken and mad with rage, Licht, with his wife still in his arms, casts a forbidden spell called reincarnation magic. And this allows the elves to be reincarnated at a future date in order to exact their revenge on the Clover Kingdom. Then, allegedly, stricken with despair and thirsty for revenge, Licht also summoned a demon god, sometimes referred to as the Ancient Demon, and this massive demon begins to wreak havoc on the Clover Kingdom. This is the demon that is eventually defeated by the first Wizard King, and the one whose skull still lies on the outskirts of Hage village. However, in chapter 197, we learn that this is not what really happened. The devil tells Patri that in reality Licht would never have wanted the eradication of the humans. After all, his wife was human and his unborn child was half human. It was actually the devil who reincarnated the elves and who manipulated Patri to set into motion a plan that Licht himself would never have approved of. This, of course, changes everything, and it throws massive doubt on the idea that Licht summoned the demon god out of revenge. In fact, the devil in chapter 197 actually says that it was Licht and the first Wizard King who somehow managed to prevent the devil from incarnating into the human world. And his whole plan with resurrecting the elves was related to finding another way to complete his incarnation. At this point, it looks like the devil's master plan has come to fruition perfectly, and that the entire world will now be at his mercy, except Yuno and Asta are still there. Remember what the devil says about Licht and the first Wizard King preventing him from incarnating 500 years ago. The two of them must have done something to prevent the devil from achieving his goal, and they must have been fully aware of the threat that the devil was going to pose sometime in the future. Even though he had not been incarnated into this world, he was still the one who manipulated the humans and orchestrated the massacre of the elves. And the devil is not the type of creature to give up on his ultimate goal to become incarnated into this world. We have to remember that it was around the age of 9 that William Vongens first began seeing Patri's memories, although it took until he was about 16 for Patri to fully awaken inside of him. This means that Patri's reincarnation was set into motion right around 17 years ago. And what happens just about 1 year after that? Asta and Yuno are born and dropped off at the orphanage in Hage village. We now know that Patri's reincarnation was set into motion by the devil himself, and I believe that the birth of Asta and Yuno just a year after that is no coincidence. I believe that Licht and the first Wizard King knew that the devil will eventually make his move and that he will use forbidden reincarnation magic to achieve what he failed to do 500 years ago. And I believe that Licht and the first Wizard King also used forbidden magic to ensure that once the devil makes his move, they too would be reincarnated so that they could stop him. And they were reincarnated as Asta and Yuno. I mean, just look at that eye color. Did you ever notice that Asta has the exact same eye color as the Wizard King and Yuno has the exact same eye color as Licht? I mean, I realize that eye color isn't actually any conclusive proof, but if this is just a coincidence, it's a pretty big one. The truth is that the so-called reincarnated Licht in his artificial body is not the real Licht, or to be more accurate, he is not the complete Licht. The real Licht that we know from flashbacks is very different from the strange, almost soulless Licht who possesses the artificial body. I believe that this is because part of Licht, probably the most important part, currently resides inside of Yuno. Licht was reincarnated inside of Yuno, and that is why Yuno retained his own personality when he was first possessed by an elf, but still managed to master elf magic so easily and turn it to his own advantage. I also think that the child of Licht chose to enter Yuno's body for a reason. The child and the father have the most compatible mana, so that is why this particular elf chose Yuno. And this also explains why Yuno has such amazing magical talents, just like Licht had back when he was alive. But what about Asta? The first Wizard King was known for having amazing magical powers, so if Asta is the reincarnation of the Wizard King, why was he born without any magic? The answer to this question lies within Asta's 5-leaf grimoire. You will recall that when the artificial Licht is asked by Raya why he sent away his grimoire, Licht states that this grimoire is no longer his. That means that something happened. Something important led to Licht losing possession of his own grimoire. Asta's grimoire was once Licht's 4-leaf grimoire, but somehow this grimoire became a 5-leaf grimoire once it was possessed by a demon or devil. In chapter 196, the devil says that he used the bond between the mages chosen by the 4-leaf grimoires, presumably Licht and the first Wizard King who both had 4-leaf grimoires, in order to create the Grimoire of Despair, and we can assume that when he says this, he is referring to Asta's 5-leaf grimoire. But despite succeeding in creating the 5-leaf grimoire, the devil failed to use it to complete his incarnation because Licht and the first Wizard King managed to do something to stop him. I think that after the massacre of the elves, Licht and the first Wizard King managed to take control of the 5-leaf grimoire. They somehow managed to repurpose it and use it to stop the devil from completing his plan. At some point, the 5-leaf grimoire stopped being the property of Licht, and I believe that its ownership was transferred to the first Wizard King. In order for someone other than the devil to take control of the 5-leaf grimoire, a price had to be paid. And that price may be the reason why Asta was born without any magic. The first Wizard King had to give up all of his magic in order to take ownership of the 5-leaf grimoire. And then 500 years later, this same grimoire chooses Asta, a boy without any mana and therefore without any magical power, precisely because he is the reincarnation of the grimoire's current owner, the first Wizard King. And because the first Wizard King had to give up his magic to take ownership of the grimoire, his reincarnation Asta was also born without any magic. We know that the unique power of the 5-leaf grimoire is anti-magic, the ability to nullify magic, and because Asta was born without any magical power, it makes sense that he is the owner because he is the only one who is able to effectively use the 5-leaf grimoire. Asta is the only one who already paid the price in order to use it, albeit in a former life. And this is why that part of Licht that is inside the artificial body readily admits that he is no longer the rightful owner of this grimoire. I believe that this 5-leaf grimoire, because it has a devil or demon inside of it, is actually closely connected to demon activity and demon magic. And this connection allowed Licht and the first Wizard King to cast a reincarnation spell that would activate once the devil's own reincarnation came into effect. And this is why Yuno and Asta are born within a year of Patri first beginning to awaken inside of William Vengeance. We have to remember that the demons or devils are ancient beings, and it is possible that the elves and the humans have been at war with the demons for hundreds or even thousands of years. If anyone would have understood the threat posed by the devil, it would have been Licht and the first Wizard King. And if anyone would have been capable of using ancient and forbidden magic to reincarnate themselves or part of themselves sometime in the future in order to stop the devil from carrying out his master plan, it would have been Licht, the leader of the elves, and the first Wizard King, the greatest human wizard. Licht and the first Wizard King, or at least some part of them, have been reincarnated into Yuno and Asta, and this explains why Yuno and Asta were born at the same point in time and in the exact same place. And that place is of course Hage Village, the same place where the battle between the first Wizard King and the demon god occurred, and the very same place where the 5-leaf grimoire was created. And so it is no wonder that 500 years later, that same grimoire was still located in that part of the kingdom and waiting for Asta, its former owner, to claim it. In terms of how the 5-leaf grimoire might have been used to foil the devil's plans in the past, we can't forget that the 5-leaf grimoire actually allows Asta to use the Demon Destroyer sword. The Demon Destroyer sword is unique because of its ability to negate even forbidden magic such as reincarnation magic. So it is very likely that the Demon Destroyer sword was how Licht and the first Wizard King were able to stop the devil from completing his incarnation in the first place. It is also possible that the Demon Destroyer sword will play a crucial role in foiling the devil's plans in the present time as well. So even if the first Wizard King had to give up all of his magic in this lifetime and the next just to be able to use the 5-leaf clover, the unique abilities of the Demon Destroyer sword seem like they would be worth the sacrifice. But that is just my current theory for the secret origins of Yuno and Asta and the connection between them and Licht and the first Wizard King. After all, Asta's appearance does have many similarities to the first Wizard King, and Yuno's natural talent is comparable to the incredible talent that Licht was known for. Not to mention that both Yuno and Asta seem to share the ideals of Licht and the Wizard King deep in their hearts. And their ideals are that all creatures, both human and elf, and people of all different social classes must come to understand each other and live together in peace. Only time will tell whether this theory turns out to be true or completely off the mark, but that is part of the fun with these types of videos. Let me know what you guys think. Did you agree with the theory, or do you have a different take about the origins of Yuno and Asta? Please don't hesitate to let me know down below. No hard feelings, this is all just for fun. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, you can leave a like to let me know. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're hungry for more Black Clover content, we have a full playlist of Black Clover videos, so you can check that out, link in the description. If you feel that videos like this one provide value for you and you want to support more, you can check out our Patreon. We recently revamped the whole thing. A big thank you to all of the patrons supporting us right now, including our Pro Hero tier patrons Ace, 17 FFDP, Keelan, and the one and only Gilgamesh. And another huge thank you to our The One tier patron Matty Mac 239. Even donating a single dollar will give you access to our special patron-only Discord, and you will see your name appear in our videos. So please, if you're interested, check us out, link in the description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.